Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the chat. Welcome back to the discussion. And the discussion of the day is note-taking. How can I improve upon my note-taking by transitioning the style or the approach in which I take my notes? So I've been in counseling for about 4 years now, and I've tried about 3 different ways, and I'm going to go into those 3 different ways. It's either 2 or 3. Well, I think it's 3, but we're going to get into those 3, and I'm just going to get straight into it. I'm not going to give you all the clickbait and none of that crap. So, I used to, in the beginning of being a counselor, I used to take the time to do my notes at the end of session. I would try to remember everything that I went through. I would try to remember all the interventions, all the discussions, all of the goals, all of everything that we've accomplished in that day. I would try to hold on to that information, and at the end of the session, type it into my computer or type it into my notes. And that proved to be difficult alone, especially if you're going into a lot of different interventions or you're doing a lot of different activities with that individual, and especially if they're giving out like a lot of data or feedback or a lot of like responses, and you want to have this important information. So what I've learned is to simply, if you have iPhone, this is best. I love iPhone. If you have a Android, you can do the same thing. Go to the Notes app. And so it's 2 ways you can do this. While you're speaking with the individual, while you're doing interventions, it can be calling their MCO, it can be accompanying them to the location they need to go to for some community resource. It can be a discussion. It can be educational material. It can be educational video. It can be an activity worksheet. Whatever you're doing, you can talk to them, type up what their response is as you're listening, like ask a question. So how was your day? How was your mood? You know, you can do it like that. Or what you can do is you can take the Notes app and you can write down keywords. So you take one line, you can put keyword discussion / or dash emotions, mood, whatever y'all to talk about. Just create it almost like, it's almost like code. You're putting it into like keywords. After the conversation, you can say assess their mood, their emotions, their mental well-being, their resource needs. Then you can say accompany them to the hospital, not the hospital, hospital if you go to the hospital, but I meant to say the doctor's office, community resource center, food pantry. You can say medication compliance, took their medications, had no side effects. You can say you had engaged them in thought-provoking. You can say thought-provoking, or you can say thought-provoking activity, and then you can put / or comma, whatever thought-provoking activity genre or topic you all discussed or engaged in. So what I'm basically trying to say is take that list, take that phone, take that app, and just put out keywords. The first keyword should be what the activity is, and the next keyword should be the finer details. So we got the broad, which is whatever the intervention is, and then the next keyword can be the finer details, what exactly took place. All right, that's one way you can do it. That's 2 ways That's 2 ways. First is you type in and you're just like, or you can listen to them, to jot down a keyword on your phone, continue to listen to them. It all depends on how you want that person to feel. If you want that person to feel like they're heard even more, I always say go with the approach of just jot down the keywords, because you're able to make that eye contact a lot quicker, able to respond a lot quicker rather than typing out everything that is going on at that current moment, because it's going to be a longer silence, and it's going to be more tapping, more typing. It's just going to be a longer pause, a longer delay, and that person going to feel like, you know, they're going to feel like they're at the office or something. You don't want them to feel like that. And another way you can do it, so let's go over the 2 that we already went over. You have you're going to remember everything at the end, and you're going to type it out at the end. If you're good at that, God has blessed your memory. Or you can take the keywords, and with those keywords, just jotting down the general notion, the broad, and then putting keywords for the finer details. So you should have like a list of different rows of information. Very simple. I believe there's a third way you can take these notes. Let me think about it for a second. Nah, well, from my experience, I'm pretty sure there's other ways of doing it, but from my experience, I either try to do it at the end, the very end, or I'll do the key, and I'll type everything at the very end, or I just use the keywords and make the keywords almost like I'm doing like a script and coding. You're just putting keywords, boom, boom, boom. And so at the end of the conversation or at the end of the session, you're able to input that information in quicker because you're like, oh, what would we do today? Okay, keyword communication, keyword goals, keyword, or you could put in little quotes there too if that individual says something specific that you want. So, you can type that in. You don't have to forget. All in all, when it comes to note taking, you want to be as detailed and thorough as possible. But you also want to make sure that you are engaging the individual and you're not making them feel like they're just another number or another dollar. You know what I'm saying? You want them to feel engaged. You want them to feel like they're a person. So I'll recommend put the keywords down at the end of the session. You can type it up, take that, whatever time it takes you to type up your notes, Or I used to do it all the time though. I used to do it while I'm with the clients, but I had to learn. Like, well, I don't want people to feel this way. So let me not just type, listen, not say anything, type and say, word. Okay, cool. That's interesting. I don't want to sound like a robot. I don't want to sound like AI. I don't want them to sound like they're on a phone with somebody and they're just getting this. No, you want them as person-centered. You want to be as person-centered as possible. You want them to feel engaged and as human as possible. You know what I'm saying? This is a very, very intimate, job because you're dealing with people's personal lives, their personal problems and everything. But all in all, your notes are important. Get your notes in on time. Don't be playing with them timesheets now. Anyways, when it comes to notes, put down the keywords at the end of the session. Write down everything based off the keywords. Or if you have an amazing memory, do it all at the end. But I almost guarantee, because I ain't a robot, I ain't no scientist, none of that. Well, I am a psychologist. yeah. But I ain't writing no dissertation on this. So I almost guarantee that you'll be able to retain a lot more information, a lot more detail if you were to put the keywords in your notes, either in the notes app on your iPhone or your Android, and then transfer them over to the laptop or to the phone, whichever one you use to submit your notes. But anyways, guys, this has been QMHP on notes. So y'all take it easy and take care.